Hello, everyone. I've mentioned in several emails to you that I'd like to introduce you to the use of brusho. It's probably a strange term to most of you, but brusho is a very creative process. You can use it with watercolor, pen and ink, and other mediums as well. I'm going to keep this introduction short, and if you'd like to take up brusho, we can do a class or several classes using it. Okay, so I'm going to keep it sweet and to the point at the moment. Okay, so what is brusho? Okay, I'm going to switch cameras and show you. Here we go, a box of brusho here, okay? You can buy them off Amazon and other places, and they come in packs of, you can get a pack of 6. This is a pack of 12, okay? And you can open up the pack, and here they are. So as it says on the box, brusho, assorted pack of 12 colours. The last time I bought a pack, I think they're about 20 odd pounds, but I'm not saying now go out, rush out and buy a pack, okay? But this is what they look like on the internet or in a shop. If I open the box a little bit and pluck one out, there's 12 colours here that I just mentioned, and they come in these little pots, okay? As it says here, purple, brusho. I won't do it, but if I take the little secure clip off there and prise the top open, inside you see the brusho, and it's best described like pepper or salt. It's granular, okay? But just got to be careful when lifting the top off, it can spill quite easily. So there's one there. It may come in a little pot, believe you me, that will go a long way. So I place this back in. I've got some which are already open, actually. I've got some colors here. There we go. I've had these a while. So what you do with the new ones is you pierce the top. There's a little hole here, okay? You don't take the top off at all, unless you want to check the quantity. Otherwise, you just press in with a pencil or some sharp implement to create that hole, as I've done on this one here. Here we go. And from time to time, just, there we go. And when you finish with it, what I do is take masking tape and seal it, okay? To stop it from spilling. There we go. Okay, I got several colors here. There's two main techniques to applying brusho: wet onto dry, wet onto wet. The other thing you need to have is a water spray or an atomizer. Okay, here we go. We've got one here, which you're all familiar with. So I've got a spare piece of paper here. So I'll just show you quickly the effects you can achieve using brusho. So the first technique I'm going to use is to put it on dry and then use the spray to move it around. This is green, by the way, emerald green. So you don't need a lot, okay? You probably can't see much of it because it's a bit like pepper. Now that's emerald green. If I take some red then, this is brilliant red, okay? And just give it a little tap as there we go. That's why a lot will go a long way. Here's the spray. Make sure it's don't hold it too close. You hold it back. Obviously, if you do buy some, you want to be doing what I'm doing now, just experimenting. So a gentle touch on the spray. Here we go. And there's the effect of brusho. Obviously, the more I spray it, the more it will spread. So that's been wet onto dry. And then I can work into that in a traditional way or whatever. But that's the first example. As you can see, the colors are very bright, vibrant, and the result can be very creative, very abstract. So just quickly again, if I now just wet the paper, okay. There we go. So I've wetted it. And this time I'll spray a different color, yellow. This is quite light. Here we go. And this is wet onto wet. And maybe this time, a little bit of blue. And that's the effect you get. The effect would differ, of course, depending how wet you go here, how saturated. Okay. And then within that, I could do some painting once it dries off. It may be a bush of some description. What I do on this final part of the paper, I really saturate it. Really saturate it. There we go. And then I'll sprinkle it on again. Brilliant red. Oh, there you go. So you see, it moves a bit more readily. I take a green again. Here we go. So that was just dampened. Here, of course, I really wetted it. And you can see the difference. But you can see again how beautiful that is and how creative you can be. Okay. So I'll just share screen with you, just show you some examples. Here we go, example 1. Okay. Example 2. These are by Joanne Boone Thomas. So once again, you can see a combination of here of traditional application of possibly watercolor, or the whole thing could have been done using brusho, because I've just demonstrated it there. But remember, you can also use it in a traditional way, as probably in this example here, and then be creative with the spray. So here's a further example. And this is a lovely one here, and this door hidden in this wall here. Okay, so once again, you could use traditional watercolor, or indeed, I suspect here, brusho has been used in favor of brusho. And then, as you can see, some very creative spraying done around the edges. So that's another good example. And then finally, I think, yeah, this again is a Joanne Boone Thomas image. So here we go. She's very experienced as Joanne. And then, of course, as you can see, then some pen and ink work is done as well. So this is just to give you a flavor of what can be achieved. But like everything else we do for the first time, it does take practice, of course. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is do a further example. I'm going to switch cameras again. And what I've got here. Yeah. So I'm going to just work it up again a bit more here. As you can see, I've just done a preliminary watercolor, just a very brief sky, indicating some trees, a stone wall, and the foreground. So if I go to the green again, the emerald green, and what I'll do now, I will put it wet on to dry. As I say, you're going to be sparing with it. You don't need much. You won't see it on this video because, as I keep repeating, it's the consistency of pepper. And then I'll put some yellow into it. That was the green. So it is very much down to chance. But like everything else, once you start to learn to control it, that's 2 colors I did. And then I could use a scarlet or a brilliant red, just to add a bit more excitement, but not too much. Right, that's fine. To the spray. I could, if I wanted to, mask off here. So that's a very useful thing to consider, masking things off if you don't want it to spread too much. Don't get the spray too close. Hold it about 12 centimeter or 1 foot from the paper, very gently. Here we go. And I can sprinkle more again. Go back to the green. Here we go. I'll be a bit braver with the amounts. If it does block, I say just pierce it again. Just release the hole. So I've been a bit braver. I put more out. Once more with a spray. There we go. Now I'm going to leave that now. When that is dry, you see how quickly I achieve that. I can come back in and indicate more of the branches. Now I come to the foreground. There's a stone wall there. And what I'd like to do is to create a similar effect here. And what I do now, I'll put it onto dry, okay? Once again, going back to the emerald green. I got another green here, a leaf green. As you can see, I keep the whole free and empty. And finally, some yellow. Yeah. And you can see it's settling down quite nicely. What I will do is block off the wall a little bit. Okay, and I spray again. Once again, remember, don't get it too close. Hold it about. Here we go. And you can see the exciting results that you get. And then, of course, I can also stroke, you see, stroke it around a little bit. This is a very quick introduction, just to show you what you can do using brusho. So I'm going to leave that at this point, and then we can discuss it in class, and then hopefully we can have a go. I put a mount around it. Quite effective, isn't it? And once it dries off, yes, I can come back in and add a few more details and tweak the trees a little bit more. But essentially, that's brusho. I'm going to stop the video now, and hopefully it's whetted your appetite somewhat. Okay, bye everyone.